everybody, welcome back to Design with me, Ashley D, and today we're going to be doing our holiday tablescape for our Christmas dinner that we plan on having for Christmas this year. So before we get started, make sure to thumbs up this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel down below, and you can also leave any questions or comments now at designwithmeashleyD@gmail.com. I have my own email now, everybody. Exciting, right? And now let's get started with our tablescape. I'm gonna go over the things that you will need in order to make this tablescape happen. And we're gonna first start out with Dirt Cheap. So at Dirt Cheap, I got these plates and these napkins. They were 70% off of the Christmas items. And so for 12 count of plates, they were 90 cents. And for these 15 count of napkins, these were also 90 cents. And they're a part of the Wonder Shop collection at Target. So remember guys, what I was saying about Dirt Cheap, I absolutely love them. Love them, because they have a lot of the Target and Walmart things for up to 75% off, sometimes even up to 80% off if it's at the store long enough. So if you're an avid Dirt Cheap shopper, or you have shopped at Dirt Cheap before, do me a favor and comment down below and say I love at Dirt Cheap. Also from Dirt Cheap, I got these pack of printer paper. There's 750 sheets. And as you can see, the regular price that it retails for is about $8.29. And this particular brand, I believe, is carried at Walmart. And at Dirt Cheap, I got these for $2.07. We'll right along to CD Linens. It has a clearance section to their website where you can get things on clearance. And I got 10 packs of knives, forks, and spoons on the website for 59 cents a piece. So I mean, this was a steal. And I also got the white tablecloths, which you will see later on, that I'm going to cover the table with, for $5.99 a piece. And those were also on clearance at CD Linens. And then I wanted to show you these different types of glasses just to give depth and also add some different dimensions to my table as well. I got these from the dollar store. So I ended up getting 3 of these taller ones for $1, of course, a piece. I ended up getting 2 of the smaller ones for $1 a piece. And then I ended up getting 4 of these smaller round ones for $1 a piece from the dollar store. Also from the dollar store, I mean, I found a nice dupe to the Pottery Barn collection. I mean, if you guys are like me, you love Pottery Barn, but you can't seem to get with those Pottery Barn prices. I mean, these things retail just for super expensive. Say, I saw these on Kirkland's as well, or something similar to this, but I found these on the at the dollar store. These are the gold trimmed white plates, or they look a little cream colored, but like pretty much a white plate. These retailed at the dollar store for $1 a piece, and I mean, you can't beat it. It looks just like the Pure One Pottery Barn Kirkland's edition of plates, and this is from the dollar store. Okay, so moving right along to a lot of the things that I already had on hand at my house. So you're going to need 8 of these tea-lit candles. And also another thing I had on hand is our Christmas tree. I'm just showing you guys one of the branches, but our Christmas tree had some extra branches on it when we went to cut it. So I saved those branches because I'm going to be doing something special with these for our table. So you'll see that a little bit later on in the video. Okay guys, so another thing I wanted to talk about that I had from home are these juice glasses that I'm going to be using as water glasses. We got these for a wedding present, and these are very pretty. They're break resistant. And just to point out, in case you guys didn't know, Lenox has a break replacement program where you can save up to 50% on replacement pieces, just in case. I mean, I know these things say break resistant, but at the end of the day, this is still glass and it's still a possibility that it can break. So just to let you know that they do have that 50% off on replacement pieces if you do so happen to break one of your glasses. These are by Lenox as well. So then these are nice drinking glasses. I plan on having white wine at this Christmas dinner. So these were very nice. And I also really like the way that the bottom is. The bottom is pretty cool on these. Okay guys, and one other thing that you'll need, I brought these from Publix. They're the fresh premium cranberries, and you'll see later on what we'll use this for in this video, but they were $2 a bag. Okay, so we're going to be making our menus that are going to be a part of our tablescape. And to do this, you will need one full sheet of white printer paper. You will need Elmer's glue stick, and you will also need scissors. So this is the finished product for our menus. So in order to put these menus together, it'll come out as one whole sheet. So you will cut out your menu portion of your sheet. Then what I do is I put Elmer's glue on the back. And just to let you know as well, you don't have to use printer paper. If you would like to use the heavier duty cardstock, you can. But for this one, I just kept it simple, and I just chose and opted for the regular sized printer paper as our menu. And then I don't like to really waste supplies, so I just decided to use the other side of the printer paper, my leftover scrap paper. I just glued my menu onto that just to give it a little bit more stability, so when people are picking up the menu, it's not just one little flappy piece of paper, it's a little bit more heavier duty. And then after I do that, I just cut this extra piece off, and then I just begin to trim my menu down a little bit, because the style I'm going for, I just wanted to see a little bit of the white outside of my menu. Okay guys, so I have stripped the table down and we have put the white tablecloth on. And before we get started with decorating, I know I said in the beginning that I was planning a dinner for 12, which I am planning a dinner for 12, but just to give you guys a more version of what I'm planning, I decided to scale it down from 12 to 6 so that way you guys could see the whole table and you could get a better idea of what the bigger version is supposed to look like. So I did take off 2 of the vases that I was going to use for my tablescape for 12 people. So I'm just going to show you today a tablescape for 6 people, but if you would like it for 12 people, just add the other 2 vases in at the end. And of course, you know, with each plate you're going to add the same thing, but just you're going to have more plates. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I have all of my vases that I'm going to put in the center of the table. And like I said, again, we're setting this table for 6. So I've scaled down my vases. I've just taken 2 out of the equation, out of all of the vases that I'm using. So I'm going to be using 3 of the taller vases, 2 of the medium-sized vases, and 2 of the smaller sized vases. And I would like to add a lot of depth to my table, so that's why I've used different sizes. And with these, just for the example, I'm going to leave these stickers on, but if you're a stickler about stickers, you can take them off. But once we put everything that's going to go in these vases, you probably won't see the stickers anyway. But if you're a stickler about that, you can go ahead and take the stickers off. So I've arranged it with the tallest one, since I have 3 of these, in the middle, and then my other 2 taller ones on the end. And then I've put my medium-sized ones beside this one to add a little bit of depth, because if you put a shorter one with a taller one, especially with your middle piece, you don't want to have such a dramatic drop. And just to show you an example, I mean, to some people this would still look good, but I just prefer it to be this way. And really, you can set the table up any way you like it. It's really no right or wrong reason, but just my personal preference, I like it better to have just little drops of dramatics with it. And then at the end, just to finish it off. You can at the end put a taller piece with a shorter piece, but just for the middle of the table, I didn't want such a dramatic drop in the middle of my table. And all right, so the next step you want to do after you have set your vases is you want to a pitcher of water, and then you want to start breaking off your branches into the bowls. And you just put enough cranberries in until you start seeing them some, and then you want to add your water. Add about 90–85% water, and then you want to take your tealight candle and you just want to place it right there in the center of all of that. So that's our smaller one. Okay, so we've already finished this one jar over here by putting the pine leaves in there, and then we put the cranberries, the water, and then we're stuck our tealight candle in the center, and then we followed suit and did the same thing on this end with the pine leaves, the cranberries, added the water, and then stuck our candle on top. So now with the center arrangement, you just want to arrange it to a point where you are satisfied with the way it looks. What to do is I'm going to add about 70% water, and then I'm going to come in with my cranberries around the top part of it. And so I filled up all three of these with the cranberries, and I've only used one bag, and as you can see, I still probably have like 25% of the bag left. So if you want to, at this point, if you wanted to use the whole bag, I say, hey, keep dumping the cranberries in, which is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use the entire bag, but I'm just going to dump a few more cranberries down in there. And I want to make sure I pack some in spots where I don't see as many, because you still have the leaves. And I'm not doing a very good job. As you can see, the cranberries are flying everywhere. There we go, finally. So yeah, you just want to stick those down in there. And look, still have a lot of cranberries left. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back and continue filling this one up with water. And then once we get to these over here on the sides, I'll explain more, but you're gonna fill these all the way with water. And then once we get to a certain point, I'll explain what we're gonna do then. But for now, we're done with the cranberry. Okay, so as you can see, I upgraded to a bigger pitcher because we would be here all night if I kept using that same smaller, one. So what you're gonna do with this, after you've cut your branch down, I just like the way it looks with a little bit of the pine hanging out of the top, just to create a more elegant look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin pouring water and filling it up to about 95%. And then these tea light candles, the good thing about them, most of them, I won't say all, I'll say most, but for the purposes of this video, I will say mine float. So I'm just going to stick it in there and it floats, and you have a beautiful, elegant vase of water with the pine in it and a tea lit candle that virtually only cost you maybe $1.50. We're going to continue the same thing on down the table with our remaining vases, just filling those up with water to about 95%. And then I'm going to add my tea lit candle. And the tea lit candle, depending on how things are set up in the vase, this one I have space in the center, this one I have space on the end, this one I have space on this end, and then this one, a lot of my branch is on this end of the table, so I have candle on that side. So everybody's getting a little bit of the ambiance no matter where they're sitting at in the table, and I just think that that's perfect. So now that we've completed our centerpiece, let's get started on setting the rest of the table. Okay guys, so at the end of the day, this is how I want each table setting to be when a person sits down. So what we have done is I've added the plate, I've added the napkin, and with the napkin I wanted to give it an elongated look. So my napkin is short. It's long for a napkin, but it's short as far as what I need it for the tablescape. So I wanted to give it an elongated look, about 75% of the way into the plate. So I have a little bit of it sticking out. And you'll see what I mean in a minute by an elongated look. And then I added my dessert plate because we're having dessert. And now you can see that the napkin is at the bottom. In order to give it that elongated look, I'm going to add my menu. And I'm going to stick my menu over the top. So now it gives the illusion that the napkin is going all the way across the plate underneath the menu. So that's how you get your elongated napkin look. And then of course, just table etiquette. I just looked up table etiquette on Google. These knives, they're the Baroque series on CV Linen's website. And again, these were 59 cents. But I mean, you can't beat this. You know, it's a combination of paper and plastic, but I mean, it just looks very elegant. So I'm gonna finish setting the table and then I will show you guys the finished product.